What ho chaps, I'm MagicalMike, and this is a quick look at Thief Gold. I'll look at the tutorial section and the first level of the game. This is a stealth game developed by Looking Glass Studios in 1998, originally called Thief the Dark Project, and then later re-released the next year, 1999, as Thief Gold, and it's got some bonus content and stuff. I also have a mod, you can see in the bottom right corner, the HD texture mod, by Bentrax, which you can find and download, and let's have a look at the training to get you an idea of what the game is like, the kind of style that you should expect from this. Of course, there's a lot of very stylistic kind of cutscenes and things, and these are actually still quite good to this day. Apparently much better than the re-release, the 2014 Thief, which I know nothing about. But I have played this all the way through, and it is a fantastic stealth game, and don't let anybody tell you differently. I'm gonna shush now and let you hear the dialogue.
I was a kid. No parents, no home. Running messages and picking pockets to keep my ribs from meeting my spine. One night I saw a man. Folks just passed him by like he wasn't there. I thought he must have something valuable, so I snuck up on him and made a grab.
That's not for you.
Please, sir, I'm hungry. Don't tell the Hammers, I promise.
What is your name, boy?
Garrett.
You have talent, lad.
Let go of me, old man!
To see a keeper is not an easy thing, especially one who does not wish to be seen. We have a need for those as gifted as yourself. If you've grown tired of how you live, then follow me, and we will show you a different way.
Leave me alone!
As you wish.
I caught up with him just before he vanished into the crowd. It was the beginning of a very long education.
So you get the kind of thing that's going on here. And this is going to be Garrett's training section, which is also going to be serving as our training section as well. So it's just a quick tutorial, a couple of minutes just to get you a quick feel of the game, and there's going to be a lot of talking, which I will try not to talk over too much.
Welcome, young Garrett. In the nearby rooms, I will instruct you in the various skills you will need to survive. Please stay in the entrance area to each room while I explain the room's purpose. When you are ready to begin your lessons, proceed down this hallway to the first room.
There's going to be a lot of things to explain here, but I'll let the guys do it.
Stay in the shadows. Avoid the light. The indicator on your screen will tell you how visible you are. Try to reach the top of the platform without being seen.
I see you there, lad.
Try again. Remember, stay out of the well-lit areas until you reach the platform.
In the dark, the bottom thing in the center of my screen is the light gem.
Well done. I did not see you approach.
Almost completely invisible when I'm in the dark.
When the door is near the center of your screen, it will light up, indicating that it is selected. To manipulate selected doors and other objects, use them. Now you must
the shields,
learn
by the
to
way,
move
are
quietly.
my
Some
health,
surfaces
which
are
aren't
louder
really
than
going to
others
matter
will
for
walk
now.
upon, and moving quickly makes more noise than moving slowly. Listen to your own footsteps to hear how much noise you are making. The instructor will have his back turned. You must get to the top of the platform without being heard.
So sound is a huge deal in this game. This is carpet that I'm walking on right now, so I make almost no sound at all. It's really, really hard to hear me. Those other textures on the ground are metal, and they'll make a lot of noise if I walk along those.
Very good. I did not hear you traverse the room.
If, however, I were to... There's a technique called stutter crouching, which will let you move along objects and textures like that, like wood and metal and things like that,
Now get
more
your
safely.
To pick up objects, select them by centering them on screen until they light up. Then use them. Choose your weapon now. Try readying your sword, and then your bow. You can always put them away again if you need your hands free. Now let's go out to the courtyard for some target practice. Ready your bow. Knock an arrow and draw back the string.
Now I'm actually going to slightly talk over the tutorial dude at the moment. This guy talking to us is called one of the keepers, and these keepers are like an organisation that sort of mingle in the shadows and make sure things go the way they want to in this universe. So there you go. Yeah, you can climb in this game and things like that. You saw me do that on the on the window still there. It's actually possible to get on top of that tree and then on top of the balconies too. But I failed the jump, so I wasn't going to go back for it. This whole section is teaching you how to do combat, which isn't a major thing in this game. The big draw of the Thief series is that it does stealth right. It does stealth really, really well. So they do give you a tutorial on combat, but often you'll find yourself just never using a sword. Of course, a sword does have other uses than just killing guards. You can defend yourself with it, you can parry and block.
Keep sparring if you wish. When you are done, leave the sparring area.
But you can also cut things down and open paths for yourself with it.
Would you care for some refreshment before we move on, young Garrett? Please pick up all of the items on this table. Cycle through your inventory to see the objects you have in your pockets. Once an object is displayed, you may use it. Have something to eat if you wish. Then you may proceed. The next test is waiting on the other side of the metal door. Good. Now head down this hallway.
So again here I'm going to talk over this keeper because he takes forever to explain just very simple mechanics here. This is climbing. You can climb ropes. Later on you'll get rope arrows which allow you to shoot arrows into wooden objects and create ropes out of nowhere, which is a hugely awesome mechanic that I've seen replicated in several other games, including in Dark Messiah, which I recently played. And that's it. Climbing's pretty easy. You aim at the surface that you want to climb, you jump, and you hold the jump key, which is usually space unless you're playing with some weird key bindings, and then you can what's called mantle up those objects and climb them. You can also get on top of the roofs and things around here, but I don't bother doing that. Oh, there's also leaning mechanics, which I just quickly show off there. And you can pick up other objects too.
But I found other uses for those skills.
Obviously those skills, they're used for stealing. So let's move on to the first mission of the game, and here's the briefing for it.
I have a simple job planned for this evening. Break into a guarded mansion, steal another fat nobleman's priceless trinket, and leave quietly. Lord Bafford is out of town, and rumor has it that the captain of his house guard went with him as a bodyguard. The time is ripe for a bit of burglary. The front gate of Lord Bafford's manor is always guarded, and the main street is far too exposed. But Cuddy tells me there's a better way in, around to the side, more out of the way. One guard, and likely no witnesses to complicate matters. The piece Cuddy wants is a scepter, silver, jewels, the usual adornments. It should command a high price. Bafford, like most of his kind, probably keeps his treasures on the top floor of the place, close to his heart, and far from his servants. No point in waiting. I have Cuddy's old sketches of the place, and everyone who's going to be asleep inside already is. It's time to begin.
So let's do it. I buy some healing potions just in case, and we're dumped out into the street. You can hear the wind going, it's very atmospheric out here. This thing that you're looking at here is called a burrick. I don't think they're supposed to be around here, but this one doesn't seem hostile, so I'll just let it go. Just have a quick look at that graffiti there. And these are burrick babies, I think. Again, I'm not entirely sure why they're here. And pretty sure these textures are supposed to be like this, because I don't fully think that you are supposed to be here. Like they said, you're supposed to go around to the side, but these guards aren't really paying that much attention to me. So I'll probably just go in the front gate. Seems fine to me. These guys are looking quite distracted.
The bears then. They were something to see. Those bears, they didn't need no jet spikes and razor collars.
It looks like they've found me now. So probably just want to lose these guys' attention, because it's probably not good to be harassed like this as a thief. I'm not quite sure what these guys are really doing, but it sounds quite difficult. You see, this guy's got a bow. Bows are going to be a common thing throughout the game. This guy though seems to be a bug in the game. Instead of firing arrows, he's firing apples. I think somebody made a typo in the code there. So, funnily enough, I can actually pick these apples up and eat them. I'm not sure if they regain health in this game, but they certainly do in Thief 2. So, let's just move on to the front entrance and find the dancing zombies, which are very typical to every Lord's Manor's house in this universe. These guys are starting to get on my nerves. They're quite loud actually, so I'm just going to silence them with a couple of quick blows to the head there. I also wanted to clean up my mess that I'd left in the front room, so I just went back to get rid of these two guys as well. I appreciate the apples and everything, but I can't have this guy just following me around and leaving apples all over the place, so there we go. I put my sword away because you move faster if you're not carrying anything. And like I said, most of the time you're just not using a sword, so that's a strange thing to see me do. Speaking of, there's something strange going on in this manor anyway, so I don't know what those two Burricks were doing in there. This guy needs to look where he's going a bit more closely because he seemed to have... and that guy in the background as well also did the same thing. It's burning themselves on these torches. I mean, they're on fire, so I guess that makes sense. So we'll just move on. Try and find some loot to steal because, you know, that's the point of the game. I've been tasked to go and find the scepter, which is in the throne room, and to steal it. This guy doesn't sound too well. Doesn't look too well either. I don't know what's going on there. I think I'll just leave him to his devices and move on. Now, I'm not checking the map because I have a decent idea of what this place's layout is, so... although I've not heard this... oh, right, yes, of course. So yeah, I get into a quick fight with this guy. It's good that these, the lords of these manors employ such handicapped people, but I don't think he's quite as effective as the other guards. But I take him down and ignore that fireball in the fireplace. I think that's a placeholder texture or model, so let's just carry on. Now these weird sounds that you can hear are actually these chests. If you've ever read the Discworld books, you'll be fully aware of sapient pearwood and what that kind of is, but in this universe, again, it's a very odd style of game. This universe, these chests are actually the bane of thieves everywhere because they follow you around and give you away. So we want to try and get away from these guys. But you'll see that they're quite persistent and they're going to follow me for a while. Now what's going on in here seems to be... well, I guess it was a lively party and these guys look quite drunk, so...
Since I'm in here, I might as well pick up something for myself.
As Garrett says, I might as well pick up something for myself. Pick up some loot, that's the point of the game after all. Remember to drink responsibly, everybody, if you are going to use alcohol, but just be careful. You don't want to have a thief walking into your rooms and stealing all the stuff that you've got. So I'm going to confiscate that to basically just protect these guys. They look way too drunk. So I don't have the key for this door, and I don't have lockpicks yet. I'll get those later in the game. So I'll just move on, and you hear those chests are still following me, so I want to move on as fast as I can. Now, having played this before, and as I said earlier, you can use the sword to cut down things. I know that there's a secret entrance here. I also know that it isn't built too well in this version, so yes, you can see through the roof a little bit there, but we'll ignore that and just move on into this section here and just crawl across these rafters. I think that guard must have seen me. You saw my light gem lit up a little bit just before he ran off making strange noises, but yes, it looks like we're in a basketball court now. There's a basketball here. Looking around for any kind of hoops to throw it through, but I don't see any, so I just toss it against the wall there.
It's a throne room. How pretentious can you get?
So this is Lord Bafford's throne room. We would have found the scepter here, but it seems to have been moved. So I'll just carry on looking for it elsewhere. I'm not too sure that's how doors are supposed to work, but yeah, that guard just ran in and gonged, so the other guards are gonna know where I'm at now. Which is a problem because these guys are actually gonna attack me and cause problems for me, so there's gonna be a little bit of combat there. That guy made a very strange noise. I actually think that that's supposed to be the noise that Bureks make when they die. There seems to be something really messed up with this level at the moment. I'm not entirely sure what it is. And here you see my excellent combat skills. I'm not really used to using a sword. Normally I sneak up on guys with a blackjack and knock them out in one blow. But in this case, I'm unfortunately reduced to having to use a sword like a common thug. So I think these guys are dead now, so I'm going to move the corpses elsewhere. Well, I'm not sure that's how corpses are supposed to go. These guys seem to be kind of clipping through the ground there. I take this guy's key. This guy's corpse is working fine, but I don't know what's up with the other two. I'm also ignoring that fire arrow. I'm not sure I really need it at the moment, so I'll just let it be. And we'll move on, because there's a few more things that we haven't seen in this area yet. Here we find the library, which houses a gas arrow, so I'll show those off now. Gas arrows are basically a way to knock people out from a distance. They're really, really handy. You can fire them with your bow. Again, not entirely sure that that's how they're supposed to work. They're just kind of... They aren't really moving in the intended way. I think my bowstring isn't quite working properly. I don't know what's going on. But there's a note here, so we should probably read that, see if we can find out any useful information. Taffer? I don't think that's particularly handy to know right now, but again, it's just world building. It's interesting to find these things out. So now we know that Taffer is a note, so yes, we'll just carry on. There's a few more things that I haven't seen yet, although I am a little bit lost right now. So here we see a bug beast and another bug beast, but I'm just going to leave those guys to it because I don't really want to bother them. I'd rather leave those guys to fight each other than me. Here we see a Burek's head mounted onto a dining table, and I'm jumping across the carpet here to make less noise. It's a technique used by some of the speedrunners, I think, maybe. I don't really know. I might just be making that up. But it feels good to jump across the carpet anyway, so I'm doing it. So there's a few more things we haven't seen. We haven't seen the room housing a few paintings. We haven't seen the basement. We have seen these zombies before though. The dancing zombies have moved to join the party now, which is always good. You know, you're having a pretty good party when the dead are coming back to life to dance. Got some jamming tunes. And they're also leading me down into the first floor. This is the entrance where we came in first. Everyone seems to have calmed down a little bit here. But there's this door here, which houses this guy. It's apparently a spooky ghost. Maybe his textures haven't loaded. I'm not sure if he's supposed to be a ghost or not, but we'll just let him be. He didn't attack us outright, so let's just go take a look at these paintings, which are really, really good quality actually. I'd like to... If ever I'm rich enough to have this kind of a mansion, I will absolutely furnish it with these kind of paintings. I like the style of these things, like this one in particular, very interesting. This horse, if I could get an actual life-size copy of that painting, I think I would be willing to spend the money on that. That horse is very well drawn. So, just the basement that we haven't seen yet, so let's go down to the basement, which should be just through these doorways, and through here should be the kitchen, I think. Or the way to the kitchen, at least. Quite loud floors here, so you gotta be careful if you're trying to sneak around. Luckily everyone doesn't seem to mind me just being here, so here's the kitchen, and here's this guy who's got slightly...
I'm harmless. Leave me alone.
Invisible hips there.
Save me!
Seems to be
There's someone here!
cooking a burek for a meal, perhaps, and maybe some more sinister things on this table. I don't really know what to make of that, so I lost him. He seems to have ran off. But he stacked some bottles before he went, so that was nice of him. It's always good to have your servants cleaning up after themselves. Moving through the kitchens and the storerooms here, there's not a lot to be seen in there. It seems like all the booze was the whole loot of this area, so I seem to have picked it all up as of now. It could have been in the storeroom, but I got lucky, I guess. Here we find 2 more pet bureks, which seem to have been quarantined, because apparently they have a gas problem. Unfortunately, that guy seems to have killed himself, so we'll just carry on.
Who's that?
And here's the servants. They might be happy to see me.
Someone get him!
He has a sword!
Oh, maybe they're not happy to see me. Oh, they're gonna attack me. That's something I didn't quite expect here. And they're actually doing damage to me. This guy very nearly killed me. Oh, sorry, this woman very nearly killed me there. With their judo chops there. That's quite the home security system that Lord Bafford has. His guards are merely distractions, whereas the servants are the silent, deadly killers. They're the ninjas that you really have to watch out for. So that's been a quick look at the first level and the tutorial of Thief Gold. I hope you've enjoyed it. This has been a very serious look at these levels. This is indeed 100% serious. I'm just going to exit the level now. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've been MagicalMike, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching. Oh, it's a blooper reel. Right. Yeah. Should have mentioned that.